In business, it's super easy to lose money. So listen, I want to share with you 3 of the biggest mistakes I've made in business in the last 15 plus years. Crazy to think about it. That has cost me thousands, maybe tens of thousands of dollars for each mistake. So the first big mistake I made years ago that I want to share with you so that you don't repeat the same thing is choosing the wrong opportunity vehicle. And this is actually something you hear people like Hormozy talk about, right? So he'll share the story about how he had this original idea of opening multiple locations, and he was working with Russell Brunson. If you know Russell Brunson, who's one of the biggest info marketers, the owner of ClickFunnels, and he was in Russell's mastermind. He was sharing this story where he was telling Russell, hey, how do I scale? I have 5 or 6 locations already. We got a great sales process. We do all this stuff with Facebook ads, blah, blah, blah. And Russell said, well, I think honestly, you've got a level 10 skill set with a level 6 opportunity vehicle, right? So the lesson there is, what are you doing with the skill set you have? Like if you're just starting out, it's okay to grow something if you don't have skills yet. You just have work ethic and hustle and desire. But when you have the right skill set, then how are you applying that and using that? So to give you an example from my own life, I had a gym. That's actually how I met Hormozy. And I had that gym for almost 10 years until I sold it. And from what Hormozy actually taught me, I developed the skill set of not just high ticket sales, but also lead generation with Facebook ads. And this is back in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, obviously to today, when Facebook ads was still the best hands down. And I tried, as I knew I was going to sell my gym or just not renew the lease if I couldn't sell it, I had a plan of what do I do next? What is the next opportunity vehicle? And one of them was dropshipping / e-commerce. And one of them was just repeating more or less what I learned to do for my own gym and helping other local business owners do the same thing. So I started there because I was already connected in the Northern Virginia, DC metro community with local business owners. But I found myself really just fighting to sell the value of what I could do, of being able to produce opportunity for people. Like they just didn't get it the way they thought, right? And I wasted a lot of time trying to pursue that. I probably spent 6 to 12 months. I got a few clients. They were a pain in the butt. I landed, and it's funny because I landed one e-commerce brand by mistake. And I watched this brand just with the things I learned from my own gym and lead generation on a local level. I applied those same principles with Facebook ads to their business. We took them from $10,000 a month in sales to over $100,000 a month by their 3rd month. And this is in 2016 or 2017. They later went on to sell that brand for millions of dollars. That was the case study I needed to pivot towards e-commerce. And I made a lot of money and had a lot of success and a lot of failures, of course, just like anything, doing dropshipping and e-commerce, which pivoted me to where I am today doing lead generation pay per call. Now, this is a quick one that I want to share with you. This is saying yes to everything, okay? Meaning you get pitched on different opportunities. Let's say you have an existing business and it's like a gym, right? And you do personal training group classes and those are your things. And then people start asking you, because you're doing a really good job with that, if you also do nutrition coaching, if you also train kids, if you also do online coaching, if you also do in-home training where you go to the person. And I've been a victim of this myself. I still am to this day, where I'll say yes to those things that seem like they're very complementary to what you're doing already. But in reality, anytime you shift your focus to have a second focus or a third focus that is not a direct byproduct of what you're doing, that's actually expensive, right? Because it's taking away from what's already working, right? So if you can actually maximize what you're doing already, you don't need to go chase that side project coming off of your existing business to make an extra, to double your revenue as a whole, right? Because that thing most likely is going to cost you a lot of time, energy, and money. And when you say yes to that, you're saying no to what you're doing already to some extent. Exceptions being if you have already scaled it up, if you have leadership in place, if you're more hands-off, that's the time when you go and pursue that next thing. And honestly, being in affiliate marketing we're constantly having to fight against this. There's always people. I go to a lot of these conferences. I'm getting ready to go to Vegas on Saturday for Leads Con, and I can promise you I'm going to run into probably 10 to 20 people that I already know, that I trust, that are going to pitch me on new opportunities that sound amazing, that sound 10 times better than what I'm already doing. But more often than not, when I shift to a new opportunity, it brings similar problems, but it brings a new set of problems that I have to learn. It brings a new learning curve with it. So these aren't always necessarily bad things, right? Expanding out in the right way at the right time can make sense, but generally saying no to more things is going to serve you best and allow you to scale what's already working and what you're focused on. Hey guys, listen, if you're getting a lot of value from these videos, make sure to subscribe, okay? I put out this content for free. It doesn't cost you anything, and I do it honestly to help you in your life and your business. So make sure to like the video if you enjoy this, but specifically subscribe right away. Now, the third one is one of the most important ones. This comes as you start to grow and gain traction and success, okay? And something you don't necessarily want to do immediately. And it's very simple. It's trying to do everything yourself, okay? In your business, there is going to come a point where you have to let go of things, whether you like it or not, unless you don't want to grow. And some people are okay with this, and some people have had a lot of success and made a lot of money doing this. Being the guy or the girl, the specialist, that is a path you can go. But if you want to grow a business per se, instead of being just a solopreneur, which there's nothing wrong with, it's perfect for some people. But if you're trying to grow a business, the fastest way to grow is first understand the thing that you need to delegate and then just outright delegating it, right? So one of the things that's propelled our business in both e-commerce, lead gen, and pay-per-call has hands down been delegating my creative production, okay? I don't make creatives, video ads, image ads. I also hate editing. I don't like doing it. I've done it. It was painful for me. And thankfully, I found really great people that really enjoyed that I've been able to guide, coach, and train on and give feedback on what I need and what I want. But that also comes from a place of understanding, of grinding at it a little bit at first to really understand what does and doesn't work. That's necessary in everything you do. You don't need to be the person, but you do need to have some understanding of this. And this actually pivots into something exciting that we're announcing, okay? But those are the three big things that I've found have made the biggest difference between me necessarily wasting more money in the form of usually opportunity versus actually focusing and maximizing what's already in front of me. And remember, those three things are pretty simple. The first is choosing the right opportunity vehicle, something that is scalable with your existing skill set. You don't want to necessarily take let's say you're an amazing piano player, right? Do you want to go to the local dive bar and try to build a career there, being the best in the town? Or do you want to go to New York or LA or one of these big cities and try to grow like a music program or be the greatest pianist in that city? Those are the same skill set, completely different opportunity vehicles, right? The second, of course, is saying yes to everything. That's pretty straightforward. The more things you say no to, usually the more focus you're going to have, because every time you say yes to something, you're giving up a piece of your focus. And the third thing is trying to do everything yourself, okay? And this is something you're always going to fall victim to at every level of the game in life and in business. The sooner that you trust people to do the things that you maybe love doing that you shouldn't be doing, or the things that you absolutely hate doing, like the creative production example I gave, that's when everything can and will change for you when you get the right people. So hey, listen, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out all the free resources I have below this video. If you want to learn more about working with me or just some of the cool stuff I'm sharing for free, like the free pay-per-call course that should be up by the time you watch this.